Let's go, let's go, let's go. 18 Gator. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Kill. Let's go.
Ito Smith, his first carry. He'll have a first down past the 40. 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Falcons. Ito Smith, touchdown number 15 of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, they said they wanted to have some explosive runs. How about that one to start the game?
And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for, because you spend all week saying, stop the run. I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to get run over. You don't want to get run past. And they got both. Over-committing in the secondary, and he just went stepping past them and is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt.
Down. 60 out block.
Three buck. Hey, watch it.
Recall, 132 fight. Ready.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
He'll look to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Throwing on 1st down. Love. They'll set up the screen to Smith. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. the gun. Love. Got his man. That's the Pro Bowler Julio Jones. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away.
Let's go. Let's do it.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mask.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Grady Jarrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Jordan Berry now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Take it at the 37. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Smith running right. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now Ito Smith. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this is caught by Watkins. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against
blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Going deep here for Watkins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. Oh, now Lindsey lost the football. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? They'll set up a throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Jordan Berry now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Pulled in at the 24. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Back to throw. Love. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And the Falcons first down.
66. Bullet ride.
A first down carry for Smith. They find some open field here. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Mike, 53. Charlie. 3. Mike.
Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken around the 12. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, they run with Smith. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They keep it with Smith on first down. Now a look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. We'll check on his status when we get back. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Down. 60 outlaw. Time to go. Night.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Olesen. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Running the jet sweep with Ridley. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A gain there of 21 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Watkins, the intended receiver. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Game on the play. Second and 10.
Staying on the ground with Olsen. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Looking to throw. Love. This goes to the tight end, Eric Saubert. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain of 22. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Running the jet sweep with Ridley. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Olsen. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
On the ground with a tight end. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
Well, they've got it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice... It got his man complete. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 41 yards. Now, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two.
At the Falcons' 35-yard line.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, check.
2nd and 11. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at them right now and say, let's get away from them entirely. Let's start throwing the football, but I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And now the throw taken in by Chark. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. The Falcons send out their punter. Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Steelers 3.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Now a first down throw complete downfield. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 83 yards. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit.
Check. Ready, go.
They'll try and throw for it. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away. Yeah. And that's caught inside the 30. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 45 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Slam. Check your hot read. Check your backer.
On the carry, it's Olison. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Back to throw. Love. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. They'll run him now out of the gun. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Now here's Olison. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Quadri Olison, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Escaping the pressure right. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll look to throw. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now back to throw. He'll dump this one off to Lindsey. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Back to throw here. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back.
Set. 50. Wait. Head rush. Lock it. Slam. Out. Check nine. Ready.
They'll start the drive with Olsen. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle. And that's going to tack on 15 more. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Going to give this time to the tailback. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds and keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Check.
They go jet sweep here with Chark. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons.
But that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Ready.
52's the mic. Here we go, D. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Tonight,